The book of Genesis contains a puzzling mystery that has vexed scholars and explorers for centuries. In the midst of the Garden of Eden, a spring welled up from the depths to water this sacred place of origins. From this spot, the text describes 4 rivers flowing out to water the surrounding lands: the Tigris, Euphrates, Gihon, and Pishon. Genesis chapter 2, verses 10 to 14. While the Tigris and Euphrates have been definitively identified in modern-day Iraq, the other 2 rivers have proven more elusive. The Gihon has speculative matches, but the Pishon remains completely unknown. No corroborating evidence from historical texts or archaeological findings has ever decisively placed this mystical 4th river. Its anonymity stands in stark contrast to the other Edenic rivers which connect to known locations. This present-day obscurity lends an aura of mythic sacredness around the textual Pishon. Its anonymity seems to heighten the sanctity of the garden itself, almost as if the perfect divine presence once experienced there is now inaccessible in a fallen world. The Pishon's absence paradoxically underscores its forever lost significance. Perhaps then, the Eden narrative functions on a symbolic level concerning humanity's divorce from unhindered divine access. With no Pishon to be found on human maps, people of faith must look to spiritual channels to comprehend this mysterious river. Its alluring obscurity beckons beyond literalism towards sacred imagination, concerning the text's deeper meanings for today's readers. While lacking geographic specificity, the Genesis account provides tantalizing clues regarding the landscape allegedly nourished by the Pishon's waters. The text depicts it flowing around the whole land of Havilah where there is gold, Genesis 2:11. Further riches like precious gems are described in proximity as well. Attempts to match these details to actual locations have yielded minimal headway. Contrast the Pishon's mystery with the clearly identifiable Tigris and Euphrates rivers mentioned in the same passage. On these actual waterways, abundant ancient historical references and archaeology unequivocally support their identity. For the speculative Gihon River, a case can be argued for major water sources near the Red Sea or Mediterranean. Yet for the Pishon, silence. With no corroborating evidence, the land of Havilah remains an enigma. Even wide surveys speculating locations from Egypt, Ethiopia, India, and Arabia offer no definitive evidence situating the Pishon's gold-laden banks in tangible history. The quest continues, with eyes especially drawn to uncharted lands, whose hidden wealth might suggest some kernel of truth behind the elusive Edenic descriptions. But as of yet, the Pishon defies positive identification, lending its mystery cosmic overtones. The lure of discovering the Genesis location of humanity and supposed massive wealth has launched countless quests seeking to definitively locate the Pishon. Prominent expeditions include Christopher Columbus, who theorized crossing the Atlantic would open access to the rivers flowing from Eden. More recent archaeological digs in Dilmun in modern Bahrain also attempted to match some features to the elusive Pishon region. In more speculative matches, some Christian literalists proposed the Kuwait River formed when underground springs surfaced after Noah's flood, seemingly matching some Pishon details. Yet clear, definitive proof remains lacking in each of these and other ventures attempting to empirically place the Pishon. The gold deposits and other details fail to fully align with locations claimed to match the biblical account. Opponents can quickly erode proposed identifications with doubt-raising objections, with no confirmation yet strong enough to silence all skepticism. Thus, the mystery lingers into the modern space age. Some posit advanced mapping of unexplored riverbeds may finally reveal the truth of this alluring biblical enigma. However, until some future eureka moment of discovery, the quest for the Pishon's origins continues on without end, as this Edenic river slips perpetually through history's grasping fingers. The Pishon's enduring anonymity has prompted some Christian thinkers to look beyond literal geography for deeper significance. Biblical scholar John Walton asserts, "The rivers indicate that Eden's geography touches the rest of the world. Eden was never intended to represent a complete geography of the world. Rather, it serves a theological function in setting up humanity's ideal state and subsequent fall. Augustine views the Eden narrative as an allegory for personal spiritual progression, more than physical terrain. Building on this, other theologians propose the Pishon specifically reinforces key doctrines like original sin. Its utter absence from any site identification becomes symbolic of the gulf between humanity's intended perfection and current fallen state. The Pishon once watered a land of delight and riches, a pointer to experiencing God's blessings when walking in intended holy relationship. Yet now only past echoes from primeval memory recall this river of abundance inaccessible for millenniums. The permanence of the Pishon's obscurity reinforces human inability to regain the garden through any feats of exploration or human achievement. As long as the Pishon cannot be found, neither can the full living intimacy with divine presence once known in Eden. And since Scripture directly links humanity's fallenness through sin with banishment from Eden, the quest for Pishon intimates a quest for God's original intent now lost. Thus, in the persistence of the mystery, flows deep spiritual resonance. The Pishon signifies both unmerited primordial abundance in the Creator's provision and the wounds of alienation from knowing divine fellowship, undimmed by transgression's shadow. Unable to locate this river of blessing, generations have taken watery wayfaring into abstraction, where the searing search itself becomes a parable reminding people of all they yearn for, but cannot reach to slake deepest thirst. The quest to unveil the Pishon mystery need not be viewed as vain pursuit without purpose. Further archaeological study may yet yield new evidence, and superior mapping technology offers hope for revelations ahead. Christ followers can appreciate and support the scientific enterprise of better understanding human origins and ancient history through empirical examination. Perhaps one day the Pishon's secrets shall no longer be hidden. However, the permanence of the concealment up to the current era carries significance as well, especially for eyes of faith. Instead of lack of evidence showing the Eden account fictitious, the Pishon's anonymity reinforces a non-literal approach for deeper resonance. The power of the Genesis imagery springs from the glimpses it provides of unreachable glory, eclipsing anything earthly discovery could provide. The maddening secrecy around the Pishon's fate stirs hearts to long for more than mortality's horizons can supply regarding life's highest meaning. For beyond factual reconstruction, this elusive river finds interpretive force as symbol of an uncrossable divide. As long as no explorer can locate and drink from the Pishon's abundant waters, humanity remains exiled from the untainted divine fellowship we were fashioned for. So the quest continues simultaneously on two planes: the outward digging and charting in the dirt and stone near ancient riverbeds, and the inward soul excavation through wrestling with biblical imagery of lost perfection. While the former has thus far come up empty, the latter makes the Pishon glow with possibility when its waters are traced into the contours of the human heart. For there the questions raised, longings felt, and recognition of distance from Eden's intended shalom wash over parched land. And the Pishon's buried flow becomes a prayer that what was lost would one day be found again.